if you're going through a construction process, or if you're in the middle of designing your house still, or if you're thinking about starting a renovation project, I want to have this heart-to-heart conversation with you. In this video, I want to share with you a few harsh truths that you'd rather hear now from me, because I'm going to say them nicely and I'm going to try to prep you before you start this journey. And it's better to know it now than later, because knowing what's ahead of you is almost half the battle. And if you're going to accept these truths, you are going to be far better than somebody who doesn't, because these things are gonna hurt, they're gonna sting a little bit, but it is what it is, and that's why I'm here, so you are mentally prepared. Okay, so first I have a list of things here that I want to share with you today. I just want to start by saying that you have to trust the process. When you start designing your home, or you're about to start construction or something, you always have this idea of, okay, this is how long it's gonna take, this is how much money it's gonna be, this is how I want it to go, this. But let me tell you something. Nothing is gonna go to plan. Nothing, okay? Just accept it as a fact of life. It's not gonna happen. If you want the construction to take 9 months, it will take a year and a half. It just is. It's not me, it's not him, it's not her, it's not California, it's not Kentucky. It's just a universal law. It will take longer. 99% of the time, it will take longer. So that's just a fact of life. Your process is going to be, I don't know, 3 months more, 6 months more, but I just want you to put that buffer in your timeline. Whatever timeline you want, you add a little bit to it, and that's your timeline. Okay, so that prepares you mentally from just feeling this kind of rush that you're just like, oh my God, I can't breathe. Like, I want to be done with this. It's taken too long. Oh my God, did I do something wrong? Did I pick the wrong team? No, it's not. You didn't pick the wrong team. This is just construction. That's how it rolls. Now, that's for time. Same thing for money. If you have an allocated budget for your project, it's going to be over budget, period. There is no back and forth when it comes to this thing. You are going to spend more money than you need. Again, 99% of the time, you're going to end up spending more money than you allocated for. That's just a fact of life. Don't fight it. Don't beat it. It is. So if you are putting together, I don't know, $1 million for your house, put $1 million and 200K. That's just, put that 200K as a contingency. Your construction company, they usually already put a contingency in their budget, but I would say add even more to it. Just so you're, again, prepared mentally, so you're not beating yourself up when the actual construction start happening and you're like 40% or like halfway through and you're already past your maximum budget. That's very normal. Just accept it. The other thing is that you're going to have a lot of fights and a lot of arguments with your partner or whoever you're building this house with, your architect, your contractor. It's going to be a lot of tension because, again, there's a lot of money spent here. There's a lot of time. There's a lot of energy. It's a future that's getting built. So obviously it's going to be a very emotional process. So just be kind. Don't say something that's going to be hurtful or something that you cannot take back. I mean, of course, you can have a heated conversation. You can try to prove your point and all that, but try not to push it to the limit because those people are gonna end up working with you for a very long time, and it's gonna only sour the relationship if you already say something that's hurtful. I mean, same thing with your partner. Try to be understanding. If they like a certain thing and you like a certain thing, let them have it this time, and then next time hopefully you have a good partner, not a toxic one. Next time they would let you have your thing. So just kind of be a team player, and just don't let your emotions run really high because they will. And it's going to be a very trying process, and you're going to come out of it as kind of a different person. Trust me, it's worth the wait. It's worth the process. So I would say if you're mentally prepared for it, it's not going to hurt as much. Okay? So that's when it comes to tension between the team. So that's pretty much sums up the process. Is very messy. So again, time, it's not gonna go as planned. Money is not gonna go as planned, and there's gonna be a lot of tension between you and your team. Next, I'm gonna talk about decision fatigue. There is just a lot of things to decide. It's overwhelming. Everything's gonna start looking the same to you. You're not gonna know if you're picking the right thing, if you're not picking the right thing, and you just be like, can just somebody pick for me because I am just done. I don't want to do this anymore. But I just want you to know that it's very normal. It's not you. I mean, it happens to even the best designers. They just like, oh my God, I've looked at so many things today. Everything is starting to look the same to me. That's fine. But here's the trick. I want you to start using concept board. This is not sponsored. I always talk about them, but this is the board that I always use where I put pictures and stuff. So concept board it really helps you take things out of your mind and put it into something that's real. So when you go, let's say you go to Floor and Decor, where you're trying to pick a tile for a bathroom or something, and you already have the cabinet for your vanity or something. Again, whenever you go to these stores, I want you to take flat pictures. So you're standing, this is your phone, you're taking a picture like this. So your picture is flat, it has nothing to, on the side, it's not distracting. It's like, I'm gonna try to insert a picture, something like this, very clean. So I want you to take that picture, put it on concept board, and then take your vanity cabinet or sample, do the same thing, take a picture from above, and put it right next to it. That way you can see if these things are matching, if they are the same tone, and of course, if you have them physically next to each other, that's even better, because with lighting and pictures, things can be distorted a little bit. But if you can start putting mood boards like that together, it's gonna be so much easier, because now you're not holding it all together and then you're like taking pictures and then you're like scrolling, was it this picture, was it this one? It's just you're gonna have a better control over your thoughts, and you're not gonna be having more decision fatigue, because just holding onto that thought and just like, okay, I have to not forget that tile, that alone is very tiring. So if you can take as many things out of your brain into the concept board, it's gonna be very, very helpful. Now, it's very normal to change your mind. You might have liked something before, but after that you didn't like it. That's fine. It's not that you're indecisive. It's totally normal. I want you to have a very clear vision about what you want to build. Of course, I hope you've already done your exercise on Pinterest. I have a video where I showed you how to use Pinterest for that. I want you to be very strict with your vision. Like if you like this and somebody's trying to get you to build this, it's a big no. Like, no is no. You're not gonna try to convince me to do that. But if you're trying to go from this to this, we're kind of in the same vision, but it's a little bit different. So I want you to be very strict with your vision, but be flexible with your details. Like, if there is a little something that can fit here, that's fine, or if you had something in mind but you ended up not finding it, or it was too expensive, you can change that. Don't be too rigid in the details, but be very rigid with your vision. That way you're not all over the place, because if you want to try to go from here to here, you're gonna have a very, very messy house. I can tell you that, because the disconnect between these two is just way too big, and the bridge is very large there's just a large surface to bridge, that it's not gonna work. Okay, so I want you to be very serious about your vision, but I want you to be very flexible with your details. So now the third point is, I want you to start thinking in layers. A lot of people, when they start designing their home, they are already thinking about the pillowcase in the living room. Like, just don't go there yet. We're not there yet, and it's just gonna burden your mind with extra details that you don't really need, because now it's all about the clarity, it's all about the space, it's all about the breathing room, because you have a lot on your plate. So you need to, as much as possible, to have that, keep your energy safe. Don't drain your energy. So if you are still, for example, in the layout phase, or if the construction just started or something, I want you to stay focused on that phase. Of course, there are certain things that you have to plan ahead, because you have the crew come in next month, so you already have to make certain decisions for things to come in so they get shipped on time. But if something is really far, you don't really have to add an extra thing. You already have enough on your plate. And I know certain tasks are more fun, like picking the pillowcase is not as fun as, I don't know, picking the trim on your bathroom. It's not something that you see, but you still have to make a decision for that. So I just want you to start thinking in layers, and again, think in the right phase, and just make a difference between, okay, so if you're already talking about how the layout of your bathroom is, let's talk about the layout. Let's not talk about the materials, because a lot of people, they would see a picture but like, oh, I think the material is not gonna, we're not in the material yet. No, back off. We're still talking just about the layout. So I want you to think in, I used this analogy before. It was the sand, the rock, pebble, and sand, like the big thing. Once the big thing is in there, then the metal thing kind of finds its way, and then the sand kind of just trickles down. And then in my previous video, I talked about the protein, the carbs, and the sauce. I don't want you to start wasting your time picking the sauce when you don't even know if you're gonna get a burger or if you're gonna get a sausage sandwich, you know what I mean? And another example here, maybe more architectural, not sauces and sandwiches. So let's say you wanna decide on your fireplace. The fireplace is the first thing that you have to decide. Is it like a gas fireplace? Is it an actual fireplace? I don't know. It depends on where you live. But at the same time, you're not going to be thinking about, you know, the kind of trim that you're going to have around your fireplace or the kind of texture that you're going to have on it, because you still haven't decided if it's going to be a square one, if it's going to be a rectangular one. You're not there yet. So let's do one thing at a time, because you might pick the texture, but it might not fit with the rectangular one. It might fit only with the square one. So just, it's not following the steps for the sake of following the steps, but because every step is going to make the next decision even easier. So that's the reason why I'm telling you to respect the steps. So the next thing is basically what you need before you start this process. I want you to get a notebook. This notebook is going to be very important because you're going to have to jot a lot of things down. And a lot of my clients, you know, I'm telling them something or something, they're like jotting it on like a napkin or a phone or something, and the next time we're talking, I said, you know, how high was supposed the thing be, you know? So always have your thing organized. Your notebook doesn't have to be organized, but if there's anything related to that building, it's in your notebook. You don't have to go through million notes on your phone, or you have to ask your partner where you wrote that thing, or just have a notebook, have it wherever you go, just jot down ideas and all that. Also, when you take notes on your phone, have a folder for that. Don't have it like in the middle of other grocery lists and stuff like that. Same thing with photos. If you have photos, have an album specifically for your house, and or even better, have an album for every room. That way it's more organized. I know that's a lot of work, but it might, you know, help you decide, because now you're seeing all the same thing in one place. Like you're seeing all the tile for the bathroom in one place instead of seeing the tile of the kitchen with the tile of the bathroom. And you just like, again, just that mental effort of holding everything in your brain is so exhausting. Just don't do that to yourself, okay? The next thing is get help from a designer with 3D. If you're struggling whether something that's gonna look nice or it's not gonna look nice, try to hire someone to put, you know, a 3D model together for you, and you're gonna make decisions more confidently. Maybe if a designer is more expensive, try to experiment a little bit with AI. I'm not a big fan of AI just yet, but I mean, they're getting really good by the second. So I don't know, just play with it. It's not the best solution out there right now, but it's worth a try if you cannot afford a 3D designer. I think that's pretty much everything I wanted to cover in today's video. Again, just be kind to yourself, be kind to your partner, be kind to your team, because it's gonna be a very long, tedious process, and it's gonna be a lot of ups and downs, but at the end, it's gonna be all worth it. I promise you that. Just being mentally prepared is, like I said, half the battle. So if you're interested about knowing more about what I share. So if you want to get a PDF summary of what I shared today, I'm going to leave a link in the description below. And of course, as usual, if you have any questions, leave me a comment. Also, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, do all that stuff, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.